Hey, it's Chris from the Chris Stefanic Show. We dive into how to live a more joyful life every day, the kind of life that God created you for. Check it out. We dive into the science of the Shroud. For those who never heard of it, give me a brief summary. What is the Shroud of Turin?
The Shroud of Turin is a 14-foot-long linen cloth by 3.5 feet. It has a herringbone twill weave on it with very expensive weave and linen that was used. It is purported to be the burial cloth of Jesus. I think there's a substantial amount of evidence for it. On the shroud, you can see a perfect three-dimensional photographic negative image emblazoned on a non-photographically sensitive linen cloth. The image emblazoned on the cloth is a photographic negative. So if you actually take a picture of it and look at the negative of the picture you just took, you will see Jesus as he, I believe that's Jesus, as he really looked. And you will not only see the positive image of Jesus, you will see inside of him as well. So as we'll discuss momentarily, you can see like the bones in his hand and the flesh around the bones in perfect three-dimensional layering. So you can have these, VD, 8 analyzers that can basically see the three-dimensional layering on the shroud, and these things in turn, for example, you look at the backbone and the flesh surrounding the backbone. You can see that this cloth actually not only captures the outside, the surface, but the inside of the person in perfect three-dimensional layering. It's absolutely remarkable. The origin of that image.
We're 30 seconds in. I'm like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah. It's like it's the most unusual image in the whole history of images in the world, and it is the most scientifically analyzed image or a historical artifact in the history of artifacts in the world. I mean, by far, like way by far.
Wow.
So we're talking about hundreds of tests that have been scientific tests already performed on the shroud. But additionally, on that shroud, in addition to the image, are 372 blood stains.
372
blood stains. Yeah, 205, I believe, on the back, and something like 159 or something on the front. I hope that adds up to pretty close to 372.
What a meditation on the passion that is.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It contains almost line by line. It contains the gospel accounts of Jesus's highly unusual crucifixion, right? We only have one crucifixion with a crown of thorns in history, Jesus. We only have one crucifixion where there's, a spear that is thrown into the man's side and it outpours blood and water, which you can see the pleural fluid that looks, transparent, and the blood that's coming out of that wound between the fifth and the sixth ribs going up at a 30-degree angle as the spear is
They can actually tell the angle based on the shroud.
You can use the angle, and you can also tell the shape, the elliptical shape, the leaf-like shape of the spearhead of the Roman legionary spear that is thrust up. You can see it in the wound, and right around the wound is congealed blood and also pleural edema fluid, because it goes up into the pericardial sac, goes up into the pleural cavity, which is the lung cavity, and pulls out the transparent fluid from the lung cavity as well as the blood. And so the person who saw it thought it was blood and water. And it's line by line verification. And there's so much more to the shroud scientifically we can talk about in the crowd. But this is just the start. And the explanation for the image is absolutely mind-blowing, because it's going to have to be a radiation explanation.
Kind of speechless. I'm not like I'm in tears or anything about
it's
the
really
witness to what he did for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And obviously, just on a really basic level here, you have a photographic negative. Before the world knew there was such a thing as a photographic negative.
Exactly.
That wasn't even someone who wanted to fake that would not have said, let's fake a photographic negative.
Exactly. Because, of course, they would have had to have produced a very strong source of radiation to do it. I don't think medieval forgers had any such thing.
Man, wasn't that a great conversation? I personally love these conversations. They help me live life to the full. And it's great to be able to do this in a way that you get to be a guest just watching and joining me in this journey to the kind of life that Jesus made us for. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. We'll see you in the next one.